Did you know that according to the organization Plastic Oceans, we are now producing nearly 300 million tons of plastic every year, half of which is for single use? My group, Tania, Mackenzie, Victoria, Sophia, and I, came up with a challenge to reduce our plastic waste. Don't use single-use plastic in our everyday lives for a week. Plastic is a major problem that will slowly but evidently consume our lives, and the fact that if we don't educate ourselves on the issue, it will haunt our future generations for centuries. Before we begin our challenge, we first answered a few questions.
We chose this because we didn't want to limit ourselves to only plastic straws or plastic water bottles. We wanted to do everything plastic.
We chose this challenge because it was one of the many challenges that we came up with.
We chose this challenge because a lot of plastic is being wasted.
My group and I chose this challenge because all of us use plastic a lot. It's really frequent in our lives because it's really convenient for us to use instead of things that maybe we could replace with like cardboard.
We chose this challenge because all of us as a group use a lot of plastic when it comes to snacks and water bottles.
And important because it's gonna probably cause me to eat healthier and limit myself to certain things.
I think this challenge is important because I don't know the exact amount, but a lot of plastic ends up in the oceans every year.
I think this challenge is important because we use a lot of plastic.
An impact this challenge could have is it could open people's eyes to learning about other materials and other ways that we could make stuff instead of just using plastic, because most of the plastic ends up in oceans or on the street and it's bad for the environment.
My impact of this challenge, I feel like I really thought about recycling more, and I really just took the time to place the recyclables into the right bins, and I've just been more conscious about it.
Not only is plastic waste impacting our environment, but the ecosystems of wildlife. According to the World Counts, in the North Pacific Ocean alone, there is 6 times more plastic debris than plankton. They are causing deaths to our marine animals who mistaken them for food. More recently, a whale that was washed up ashore was found with 88 pounds of plastic waste in its stomach. Not only this, but the Sea Turtle Conservation Banner reports that worldwide, 6 of the 7 sea turtles are classified as threatened or endangered due to human actions and lifestyles. This habit of not properly throwing away plastic and garbage results in the mass destruction of our vivid, beautiful marine life. As we did the challenge, we interviewed each other to see how each team member was doing. What item or object or activity did you have to reject?
I did reject plastic cups, like if they were offered to me at restaurants.
I had to reject things like straws and chips.
Eating with like plastic cups and plates at home.
I didn't have to reject any activities.
I had to reject cereal and milk and water bottles.
How often do you do the things you're trying to avoid?
Not often, not very often. If I want to stop myself from doing it, I could catch myself doing it.
Like in my everyday life, 24/7.
Not so often. Less often than I thought, because I thought I did them all the time, like as use plastic every single day, but it was just a few times a day.
I do the things I'm trying to avoid in my everyday life.
It's plastic, and I use plastic like 20 times a day, every time I eat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
As we all did the challenge, we all came to realize the changes we needed to make to our lifestyles. Along with making changes, we also made observations on just how plastic dependent we are, and how almost none of us realized it beforehand. Constantly producing plastic waste was not something we were normally conscious of. After the challenge, we wanted to reflect and think about how we did during the challenge. Did any other good things come out of doing your challenge?
Well, I wasn't using that much plastic anymore, and I was just using the dishes in my house.
One good thing that came out of doing my challenge was that I started to eat healthier because I couldn't use a lot of packaged or processed foods.
Yes, I realized that I really thought of plastic more and how much we waste, so I started trying to separate them into recyclables when I can.
I started eating healthier.
One good thing that came from this challenge was bringing up this topic in front of people that normally wouldn't talk about it, like family and friends. One good thing that came from this challenge was bringing up this topic in front of people that normally wouldn't talk about it, like family and friends. What are your reflections or takeaways from this challenge?
My reflection overall is not to rush myself into not using something at all, because throughout my whole life, like since I was little, I used plastic so much. So I can't just wake up one morning and not use it at all. I just want to slowly not use it and then see how it helps in the long run.
My takeaway is that I never realized how much plastic I use and how much I eat out until I did this challenge.
One big takeaway from this challenge was actually realizing how much plastic I used in my everyday life and basically how I can reduce it.
One takeaway I got from this challenge was that when you aren't aware of what you're doing, you continue to do it and you won't think it's a problem.
A takeaway is that everyone should at least try to think about their waste.
Our challenge to avoid single-use plastic proved to be very difficult for all of us. It raises the question as to why we didn't see it before and why we didn't try to stop it earlier. In many ways, this is the case for most people. So what can we do about it? Minimize your waste by doing things like using reusable water bottles, avoiding straws, and substituting plastic for things like cardboard. Make your own food at home or purchase food like cereal, pasta, and rice from bulk bins, and fill a reusable container. If we all make the effort, we can all achieve a healthy planet for future generations to thrive in the years to come.